How do we find out where kids are in their learning? Well, Ted Ragg did a study of elementary schools and teachers, and they looked at 1,000 teacher questions. 50% of them were managerial. Have you got your books out? 40% were factual, recall, low-level questions. How many legs does an insect have? Only 8% caused thinking. The really important thing about questions is they should cause thinking. Or provide data that's useful for you to teach. Causing thinking. Now, many people think that open questions are good and that closed questions are bad. Not true. Closed questions can be great. I was working with a group of 5th graders the other day, and I asked them, can you have a triangle with 2 right angles? That's a pretty close question, isn't it? Because there's 2 answers, and one of them is wrong. It's about as close as you can get, isn't it? But these kids didn't know, so they had to think. So one boy was building a really long, thin triangle. I said, why are you doing that? He said, because my math teacher told me that parallel lines meet at infinity. Smart kid, dumb teacher, but very smart kid. Another boy in the group said, I know the angles have got to add up to 180 and I've used up 2 90s already, so can you have an angle of 0 degrees? So the group had a really quite interesting discussion about what it would mean to have an angle of 0 degrees. And one girl in the group said, I think I can do it, provided I can have one corner of the triangle at the North Pole and the other 2 on the equator. Which I thought was quite a good answer. The boy said, that's not a proper triangle, but the point is, this was a closed question, but it was valuable for them at that point in their development because it caused thinking. Provide data that inform teaching. Which way does light go? Does it go from my eye to what I'm seeing, or from what I'm seeing to my eye? That's a pretty closed question again, because there's one answer that's correct and the other is wrong, basically. But it's a good question to ask, because a lot of kids think that light goes this way. So there are 2 good reasons to ask questions. Now, if you do ask kids higher order questions that require thinking, give them appropriate wait time. Yeah. Only with higher order questions. There is no point in giving wait time for low order questions. If kids don't know the capital of Connecticut, extra time isn't going to help. I don't know if you know the research on wait time. Do you know what the research about teachers' wait time says? It says that the average teacher wait time is, let's have a Dutch auction. Okay. So we're going to start at 10 seconds and go down. So if you think it's 10 seconds or less, thumbs down. 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Okay. It's 0.9. And when I heard that research, I didn't believe it. I know that teachers don't wait long enough, but 0.9 really seemed implausibly short to me. But then I started looking at teachers in classrooms. And this is what I saw. A teacher would ask a question, and the kid looks a bit puzzled, because the question wasn't that clearly worded. And the reason the question wasn't clearly worded is because the teacher had just made up the question on the spur of the moment. So but the teacher sees the kid looks a bit confused, so the teacher then had to go at rephrasing the question in a slightly different way. Now the kid is now even more confused because they don't know whether that is the same question asked in a different way or 2 different questions. So they look even more puzzled, and the teacher says, well, maybe I'll have a third attempt to ask it in a third way. The kid now is even more confused, gives up, and so does the teacher, and asks somebody else. But that came from the fact that the teacher hadn't planned the question. If you have a video yourself asking a question to a group of kids, just count the number of words in your question. It is terrifying. I have found myself asking questions that go on for 40 words. One of the kids can't answer it. Nobody can know how it started. So planning your questions in advance is much more important than planning your lessons. Most teachers can wing instructional practice. They can wing how to explain things. Because you try things, different things, and you ask kids to say things, but what you can't wing is a good question. The one thing that has to be planned before you walk into that classroom is the questions you're going to use to find out whether the kids have understood something or not. You're never going to get that on the spur of the moment.